Hi everybody, I thought I'd do something a bit different here. We haven't had a tag for a while, and a few months ago I did a few questions which were a little bit deeper. No one jumped on it at the time because it was everyone was tagged out, and we haven't had one. So tag or thread or whatever. I just thought let's just keep it surface level, so there's not so much in-depth kind of exploration of things. And let's look at the charming and the whimsical. So let's start. A record pertaining to dreams. Now, it can be a dream you've had, it can just be a cover which has a dream-like quality, anything which has dreams. This is pretty obvious. The Street of Dreams, Tony Lee. Pretty naff record, but it's I keep it for that cover. Street of Dreams. The record is going to be it can CD, cassette, whatever, singles, albums. A record that has sweets on it, cakes, delicate fancies. It's just a punk single, I Want Candy. We know what it's like to be children looking in the shops. I remember going to places like Great Yarmouth and seeing the rock shops and reading all the different things. But rock, what a great thing that was. At once gorgeous to look at and disgusting to eat. Anyway, so that was the second question. Something with sweets and cakes. Third question. Something with an item of transport of a fantastical nature. It's just a normal thing that's been made or rendered in an abnormal or twee or whimsical way. This old Irish folk record has a train on it. It's drawn in a lovely style there. Not dissimilar in some ways to the Pink Panther artist. It's here, train. Whimsical transport. A whimsical or fantasy land cover. Now, it's this record. I've seen it so many times, but it's just a wonderful, wonderful cover. Pure fantasy. The amount of times, the amount of hours I've already spent looking at that cover. But also equally, I really love the interior of this, the stark contrast. Just love that. Anyway, a fantasy land. Something related to space. It could be a fantastic space. It can be like this, for example. I've shown it before. Solaris, Martian Chronicles, this Hungarian record. It's a fantasy interpretation of space, and also, Mars and time and everything else. See the Earth in the background there. So there we are. An artist's rendition of a fantastical, whimsical idea of space. A TV show, a whimsical record or cover with a TV show, a childhood TV show, is for Thunderbirds. It doesn't have to be a cartoon, it could be a TV series, anything. But a TV series of a whimsical and fantastical nature. I don't know if they ever did Catweasel or something on vinyl, but something like that would be fantastic. A record with a cartoon cover, or a cartoon on the cover or on the rear sleeve or something. Singles, albums, EPs, whatever. Here's a folk record, Cromlech, Welsh folk. That's a cartoon cover. You might say they look more like cartoons on the rear. A record that makes you think of childhood and childhood stories and childhood books. Here is HMS Donovan. Now this cover just makes me think of old children's books when we were very young, and some of the illustrations in those books, I mean, it could be ladybird books even, some of it was nursery rhymes, and they have that element of the nursery rhyme feel, just like his the box set, of course, From a Flower to a Garden. This one, nursery rhyme, and any cover which relates to childhood or books from childhood, memories of childhood. A cover which has fairies, angels, nymphs, creatures of folklore upon it. Now this one is a loose angel, or the mythical angel. So a creature of myth, folklore, that kind of thing. And also, just to finish, a couple of questions here. Something related to death, the final whimsical enemy we face. Now, here is an obvious one, and it's rendered in a fantasy and kind of comical way. Sound effects of death and horror. I don't think we're all going to go in that way, killed by an alien and Dracula, but there we are. A cover with a whimsical, perhaps, interpretation of death. That might be a hard question to answer. If that's a hard question to answer, let's go with a cover that has, we were talking about whimsical, fantastical, and also the kind of the gentle and the more lovely side of things. But also we might need to consider that lurking in the hedgerows are the grotesque, the creatures of the grotesque. So you either do one showing death or a question showing the grotesque. And here is the grotesque. So there we have it. Questions of charm and whimsy. See how many of you go for this one. I'll see you later. Probably just Rob Eisen. I'll see you all later. And Phil at the vinyl verse.